Very good morning to all younger advocates and also general public watching this video. On the previous occasion, I have covered what is vested interest as contemplated under section 19 of the Transfer of Property Act. Now, today's subject is contingent interest. So, in order to understand contingent interest, what is contingent interest? Now, we should have little recap of what is vested interest. So, previously it was discussed that vested interest is an interest where on a transfer of property an interest is created in favor of a person to take effect only on a happening of a specified certain event. So, it means that the word certain event is happening of certain event is very much important. Here, suppose you will understand better if I give an illustration. Suppose a father transfers property in favor of B, who is his son, for lifetime, and after his death to the son of C after the death of B. Here the property that is conferred on C, that is grandson of A, is the moment it is conferred, the C will have vested interest, because here the happening of B's death, which is certain to happen. So, the moment A transfers property for B for his life and then to his son C after the death of B, the C's straightway will get vested interest. Only his enjoyment will be postponed till the death of B, that is his father. So, happening of specified certain event. This word certain is very much important. Now, with that background, coming to the contingent interest. So, contingent interest normally sections 21 to 24. 21 is the main section and up to 24 I will cover. So, in case of contingent interest, I will first explain the illustration. I will give illustration, then I will read the language under section legal language under section 21. As far as illustration is concerned, very easy, carefully listen. Suppose Mr. A, he transfers some property to B for life and then to the B's son C, or for that matter Mr. A wanted to transfer some property to his son B on condition of B marrying C, So, now here that event, happening of that event, that is B marrying C, it is not a certain, he may marry C or he may not marry C. So, that is contingent interest, transfer property by A to B on happening of specified uncertain event. Uncertain is most important when it comes to contingent interest. Uncertain, that means on condition of B marrying C. So, B may marry C or may not marry. So, that is contingent interest. So, that condition, that event may happen, may not happen, probability, there is always a probability, there is always a chance. So, not only that B marries C, not only that condition, this type of all conditions. Suppose Mr. A transfers property to B on condition of B achieving some educational qualifications, suppose an engineering graduation, or on condition of B participating in some sports like cricket. So, he may participate in the sport or not, whether he may achieve the education qualifications or not, that is our uncertain events. So, now with this background, let me now read the language employed in this section, that is section 21, contingent interest. Where on a transfer of property, an interest therein is created in favor of a person to take effect only on happening or not happening of a specified uncertain event. Such a person acquires a contingent interest in the property. So, if you see compare with the vested interest, there specified certain event. Here specified uncertain event. See, these two differences one must note to understand what is vested interest and what is contingent interest. Now, such interest becomes a vested interest on the happening of the event in the first case, and when happening of the event becomes impossible in the second case. So, if B marries C in our example illustration, then it becomes vested interest after fulfillment of the event or condition. A contingent interest is one in which neither any proprietary interest nor a right of enjoyment is given at present, but both depend upon future uncertain event to be happened. So, same. So, if you keep that illustration in mind, you will understand this legal language employed in section 21. An estate is contingent when the right to enjoyment depends upon the happening of an uncertain event which may or may not happen. Always there is some probability, may or may not happen, a chance. So, that is what is contingent interest as contemplated under section 21 of the Transfer of Property Act, Asti Badalayam Chattamlo. Now, there is another illustration for your benefit is that where an estate is bequeathed to A until he gets married and after that event to B. B's interest in the bequest is contingent because it depends upon condition precedent, that is the marriage of A, an event which may or which may not happen. B has at present no proprietary interest in the estate and he cannot alienate it. But as soon as A marries, the contingent interest of B becomes vested interest after B's marriage because of happening of the event A's marriage on which it was contingent till then. In a contingent interest, the transfer is not complete until the specified event happens or does not happen as the case may be. So, this is the beauty of contingent interest. Now, coming to what are the main features of contingent interest? A contingent interest depends upon future possible interest, solely depend upon the fulfillment of a condition, so that in case of non-fulfillment of the condition, the interest falls through. Then the second salient main feature is, if the transferee dies before obtaining possession, the contingent interest fails and the property reverts to the transferor. If the transferee dies before obtaining possession, that will revert, property will revert back to the transferor. Then another feature is that it is transferable. It is quite different from a mere chance. Whether it is heritable or not depends on the nature of contingency. Now, to summarize these features, it depends upon future possible interest and it is not heritable, that also depends. Transferable but uncertain, transfer will become complicated. Then happening or not happening of an event, it depends upon. Then next, no right at present. So, these are all the main characteristics of contingent interest. Then now coming to difference between vested and contingent interest. What are all the differences between vested and contingent interest? This is also one of the important subjects. Normally it may be asked in the written examination of judicial officers examination and also in profession also when you are dealing with immobile property disputes or whatever may be mobile properties disputes, it will be helpful, very much helpful in the legal profession. And also general public, if they know these things, it will be better for them when they go for registration of documents and all. That is how it is important. So, the important difference is that vested interest is covered under section 19 of the Transfer of Property Act, whereas contingent interest is covered under section 21 of the Transfer of Property Act. Then coming to definition, where on a transfer of property, an interest therein is created in favor of a person without specifying the time when it is to take effect or immediately after transfer. Then to take effect only on the happening of a specified uncertain event. So, vested interest is happening of certain event. Contingent interest is happening of uncertain event. It may or may not happen. Then specifying that it is to take effect forthwith or on the happening of an event which must happen such interest is vested. If a specified uncertain event shall not happen, such person thereby acquires a contingent interest in the property. So, these are all differences in the definition itself. Vested interest is a certain event which must happen, that is death, that nobody can say that everybody is immortal and that will not happen. In case of contingent interest, a specified uncertain event, it may happen, it may not happen. Suppose some B marrying C, he may marry or he may not marry. That is how this. Then fulfillment of condition. Here there is no, here does not depend upon fulfillment of any condition. It creates an immediate right, though the enjoyment may be postponed to future date. Suppose A transfers property on B for his lifetime and then to C. So, here the moment A transfers, here it creates an immediate vested right in C, but only till the death of B his enjoyment and possession are postponed, that is all. But in case of this contingent interest is solely dependent upon fulfillment of a condition, so that if the condition is not fulfilled, the interest falls through. So, this is regarding fulfillment of the condition, this is a difference. Now, coming next, effect of transfer is death. It is most important. Vested interest is not defeated by death of transferee before he obtains possession. Contingent interest is whether it passes on the death of transferee or not depends on the nature of the contingency. Then whether transferable and heritable. It is both transferable as well as heritable as far as vested interest is concerned. As far as contingent interest is concerned, it is transferable. Whether it is heritable or not depends on the nature of contingency. Then, if the transferee of vested interest dies before actual enjoyment, transferee dies, it passes on to his heirs. But here we have read just now, it reverts back to the transferor. If the transferee of contingent interest dies before obtaining possession, the contingent interest fails and does not pass on to his heirs, whereas in the vested interest, it passes to the heirs of the transferee. Then, present right of enjoyment. In a vested interest, there is a present immediate right even when its enjoyment is postponed. Right is there, complete right. Then, in vested interest. As far as contingent interest is concerned, there is no present right of enjoyment. There is a mere promise for giving such right if the condition is fulfilled, and such promise may be nullified by the failure of the condition. So, these are all the main differences between vested interest and contingent interest. Difference in the definition, that is happening of specified event, certain event, and here contingent is uncertain event. Then coming to fulfillment of condition, then coming to effect of transfer is then in respect of whether transferable and heritable regarding, and then present right of enjoyment. So, all this on 5 points there are differences which I have just now gone through. Then coming to section that is about regarding section 21 and 22 also, previously when we are discussing vested interest, already 22 is already discussed there. Now coming to 23, transfer contingent on happening of specified uncertain event in cases where no time is specified for the happening of that event. So, there is no time specified for happening of that event, uncertain event. For example, a gift of property is made to A for life and afterwards to B if B returns from England. So, when B returns from England, no time is prescribed. Here B's returning from England is a contingency and no time is mentioned for its happening. No time is mentioned when he has to return from, when he will return from England. So, this contingency must happen before the determination of A's interest, that is B must return from England in A's lifetime if B is to get the property. Very simple under section 23. Transfer contingent on happening of specified uncertain event in cases where no time is specified for happening of that event. So, here what he has to do? The B he has to return from England before determination of A's interest, because that means during A's lifetime, if B is to get property. That is about section 23. Then coming to transfer to section 24. Transfer to such of certain persons as survive at some period not specified. Transfer to such of certain persons as survive at some period not specified. That is section 24. Here illustration I will give. A transfers property to B for life, and after his death to C and D, equally to be divided between them, or to the survivor of them. Out of B, C and D, who survives? C dies during the lifetime of B. D survives B. At B's death, the property passes to D. So here you must remember one thing: transfer to such of certain persons as survive at some period not specified. Here the example is, suppose A transfers property to B for his life, after his death to C and D, equally to be divided between them or to the survivor of them. So there is a clause, whoever survives B, C or D, C dies, so D survives, so D will get the property is after the at B's death. So because out of C and D, D only survives. So this is about section 24. Achha, the section 23 will not cover the case where a fixed time is mentioned for occurrence of event. That is, where it is provided that if B returns from England within 10 years and such time extends beyond the cessation of the prior interest, there must be some trustee to hold the property during the period intervening between such cessation and the happening of contingency. Otherwise, the property will lapse into abeyance and the interest will fail. So, when under section 23, where there is a fixed time is fixed, the rule under section 23 does not cover cases where fixed time is mentioned. Now, section 24, whoever survives out of C and D, they will take the property. So, therefore, now what we have studied, to summarize, we have studies regarding interest. What interest? Two types: vested interest, sections 19 to 22, contingent interest, section 21 to 24. So, vested interest in possession and not in possession. Possession may be postponed also. So, under not in possession, on the circumstances by provision postponing enjoyment, that is one of the incident. By the intervention of prior interest, that is another, already we discussed in vested interest. By a provision for accumulation of income. These are all we have discussed when we have discussed about vested interest. So, these are all about vested interest section 19 and contingent interest section 21 and differences between vested interest and contingent interest. I think I made myself clear, and the two are very important. And next we will go to the subject conditional transfers, section 25 to 34. In the next video we will do this conditional, what are all conditional transfers. Thank you very much. We will meet again. Namaste.
మన జాతర, మన పండుగలు, మన చందనాలు. మీ ఏలూరు చందన బ్రదర్స్ లో సంక్రాంతి జాతరోత్సవ వేడుకలు, కోలాహల సంబరాలు, తగ్గింపు ధరలు, ఉచిత బహుమతుల అంబరాలు, 1499 రూపాయల వస్త్రాల కొనుగోలుపై ఉచిత బహుమతులు, అన్ని రకాల వస్త్రాలపై అప్ టు 59% ఆఫ్, 1+1, 1+2 ఆఫర్స్. 399 రూపాయలకి షిమ్మర్ లెనిన్ సారీ, 699 రూపాయలకే 2 కోవై పట్టు సారీస్, 899 రూపాయలకే 2 కుప్పడం ఫ్యాన్సీ సారీస్, 2496 రూపాయల ఆల్బమ్ సాఫ్ట్ సిల్క్ సారీ 999 రూపాయలు మాత్రమే, 499 రూపాయలకే 2 స్ట్రైట్ కట్ టాప్స్, 599 రూపాయలకే 2 అంబ్రిల్లా కుర్తీస్, 999 రూపాయలకే 2 బాయ్స్ జీన్స్, 599 రూపాయలకే 3 బాయ్స్ షర్ట్స్, 275 రూపాయలకి 2 చిల్డ్రన్ మిడీస్, 799 రూపాయలకి 2 క్యాషువల్ షర్ట్స్, 399 రూపాయలకి 3 లోయర్స్, 799 రూపాయల మెన్స్ జీన్స్ కొనండి, రెండవ జీన్స్ 25 రూపాయలకి పొందండి. షూటింగ్స్ అండ్ షర్టింగ్స్ పై అప్ టు 25% డిస్కౌంట్. విచ్చేయండి చందన బ్రదర్స్ షాపింగ్ మాల్, మెయిన్ బజార్, ఏలూరు.